Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sada Shiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vivagine Vyomavat Vyaptadehaya Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shanti Mantram O Vangme Manasi Pratishtita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam Avirmayedi Vedasya Ma'anistaha Shrutam Me Ma Prahasihi Anenadhidena Horatran Sandadami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So in the discussions which we solved in the last class, we were at this juncture where Atma, then mind, and the Indriyas with the physical organs and the object. This is the placement for all our experiences. If it is internal experience in the mind like happiness, sorrow, etc., it is devoid of the external organs of senses and the objects outside. The object is very well within the mind itself. But irrespective of whether it is an internal mental object or experience or knowledge or objective knowledge transmitted through the sense organs and the instruments of senses like eyes, ears, etc. We have a situation where Atma is on the one end, then comes the mind, then comes the internal knowing, experiencing, etc. Sense organs, internal and external objects of senses, and the objects which are outside. This has been divided into two categories by Acharya Shankara, saying that one is the eternal aspect and one is the transitory or impermanent aspect of it. Anything related to the body. This means including the mind, because mind is the part of the body. That is why we are able to know only our mind, and the other mind we are not able to access or even know when we have anything else experienced by the other person, whether we do not even know whether he is experiencing the same thing or not. For example, if I am eating a sweet object and the person next to me is also eating, whether the effect of the sweet is the same to both of us or not, each one cannot verify the other. So from that point onwards, everything from the mind to the internal sense organs, or what we call as indriya in the Sanskrit term, or the object of sense, which is the eyes, ears, etc., the golaka, which is in the Sanskrit word for it. So all these three, that is the mind, the internal sensation, and the orifice or the sense organ outside, this belongs to the body. not to talk about the objects outside. So anything starting from the mind to the object are transitory or impermanent in nature because they are not constant. Whereas Atma is the one which is constant because we have the experience of Atma, as Venkat was talking in the last question and answer session about the Sakshi. When the objects of mind, etc. are there, the Atma is called a Sakshi, not otherwise. So when we have this Sakshi, we found that the Sakshi is there in the waking, dream and deep sleep also. Because we know the dream happening, the waking happening, the deep sleep happening, yet we do not know who we are. So there is, related to the body is our experience of waking, dream and deep sleep. But the knower of that, when it is happening, is called the Sakshi, and that Sakshi cannot be known by the method of through the mind also. So this is where we have stopped in the last class. So tatacha dve shruti shrotrasya anityaha nityaha cha atmaswarupasya. That is what I just explained. Tada dve mati vijnati bahya abahya. Same way the knower also are divided into two, bahya and abahya. That is the external knower and the internal knower, or the Atma Pratyaya, which is knowing the bahya. Evam hi eva cha ayam shruti utpannaha bhavati drishter drishta shrute shrota ityadya. Now, in the Shruti, in the Upanishads, especially in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, drishter drishta, the seer of the seer, shrutehe shrota, the listener of the listener. Like that is referred in the Upanishad, Brihadaranya Upanishad. Loke api, even in the transactional world, prasiddham. What is prasiddham? Chakshushaha timira agama apayoho nashta drishti jata drishti iti chakshur drishtehe anityatvam. Now he is giving an example of cataract. Prasiddham. What is it is well known in the world. Timira gamana apaya. By the onset of cataract and subsequent removal of the cataract. These are the two conditions. So when the cataract is onset, nashta drishti jata. We say that I have lost my vision, proper vision. I'm not able to see it. Idi chakshu drishtehe anityatvam. That is the time when the impermanency of the eye is referred here as, it can be, the eye vision can be lost and it can be regained by rectification of the cataract. Tadacha Shrudimatyadinam Atmadrishtya Adinam cha Nityatvam Prasiddhameva Loke. Even in the world, Atmadrishti is Prasiddham as Nitya. This which we don't give much of importance. Even though we transact in the way as if Atma, we are permanent and we are eternal, but we do not accept ourselves as eternal. The example given is Vadati, means such a person is speaking. He Udruda Chakshu Sopne Adya Maya Brata Drishta iti Vadati. Udruda Chakshu means one who has lost his vision by say operation or an accident or something like. He says in the swapne, in the dream, Adya Maya Brata Drishta. Today I saw my brother in my dream, but his physical eye has been lost because he has lost it in an operation or an accident. But he is able to see the brother in the dream. Tada Avagada Badirya Swapne Shruto Mantra Ityadi. A person who is lost the sense of hearing, he says that in the dream he heard Shruti mantras, that the chanting which he has been listening to it from the childhood after loss of hearing. He is still able. He is saying that in the dream, I could hear the chanting of the mantras very clearly. Yadi chakshuhu samyogaja eva atmanah nitya drishti tan nashe nasyet tada udrita chakshu swapne Neela Pidadi na pasyet. Yadi means if. Chakshu samyogaja eva atmanaha nitya. That the contact of eye is mandatory for Atma to be nitya, for seeing, listening, etc. Tan nashe nasyet. Then what happens if the eye is lost or the hearing is lost? He should not be able to see or hear. But tadana, it is not like that. He is able to see vision in the swapna, and even in during daytime daydreaming, his eyes are not able to see. But he is daydreaming that he has lost his eyes by operation, but he is able to daydream and imagine the vision which he had earlier. He is still able to imagine and see those pictures in his mind, in his experience. Neela Vidadi, like the blue and the yellow colors of the peacock, feather, etc. He is able to see that. Nahi drishtor drishte viparilopo vidyate avinashitvat. This is Brihadaranya Upanishad, fourth chapter, third section, 23rd mantra. Drishtor drishte. The seeing of the seer. Na viparidopo vidyate. Never is lost. That means the permanency or the eternity of the activity now attributed to Atma, that he is the seer of the seer, is what happens when the eye is operated and he is still able to see the vision. So that is the drishter drishti. Viparilopo na vidyate. It is not being lost because avinashitvad. Atma is avinashi, is eternal in nature. Because of that nature is the reason why, even in spite of the eyes are being plucked out or lost by the operation, etc., the mind is able to project and see the things which you are seeing it in the presence. Suppose now we have to keep this in mind. This naha drishter drishto viparilopo na vidyate avinashitvat ityadi cha shrutehe anupanna syad is what is attained by the statement. Tat chakshuhu purushe yena swapnam pasyati ityadi cha shruti. Now, tat chakshu, that eye, purushe, in the yena swapnam pasyati purushe, the one who is seeing the swapnan is pasyati, that is the eye which is seeing the swapna, not the eye which is there on the sense organ and the related sense organ which we are using in our waking world. This is the vibe. Nitya Atmanoho Drishtihi Bahya Anitya Drishtihe Grahika. So now the division is there. That is Atma Drishti is Nitya Drishti. It is not dependent upon the sense organs or the physical eye and the objects for seeing. It can see it in spite of the absence of physical eye. And Anitya Grahika. Anitya or the impermanent or transitory is the nature of the senses or that are depending upon the sensory organ grahika, drishte grahika. Bahya drishtescha upajana apayadi anitya dharmatvat grahikaya atma drishtehe tadvat avabhasatvat anityatwadi bhranti nimittam lokasya iti yuktam. Now he is bringing the reason for it. The real seer is Atma. Bahya drishte cha upachana apayadi anitya dharmatvad grahikaya means the upajana apayam means by restoration or loss. Anitya dharmatvad being of the nature of impermanent. Grahikaya atma drishte that the external organs Atma drishte or grahigaya. It is superimposed on the Atma that daytime I am not able to see, even though you are able to see because the instrument is not there. You are attributing the lack of the instrument of the vision onto the Atma, even though Atma drishti is permanent in nature. Otherwise, we will not be able to see the colors or the vision in the daydream or in the supna. Avasat. Tadvat, likewise, avabhasatvam anityatwadi bhrantir nimittam lokasya iti. Avabhasatvam anityatwadi. The understanding, avabhasa means the knowing is Anityatvam and Nityatvam, these two aspects. There the Anityam is due to Bhranti. And Nityam is not being given importance by the Loka, means the general public or those who are not understood the Upanishad properly. They transact with the only Bhranti, with the superimposition which they are doing with the I am the blind now, I am the lame person now, or I am the dumb, or I am the deaf. Like that, the dumbness, deafness, blindness, etc. is superimposed on the I, which is the Atma Pratyaya, which is the permanent in nature. It is never lost. But Bahya Grahikaya, Atma Drishtehe, Anityatwadi Dharma. For the dharma or the qualities of the anityatvam, of the impermanency of these instruments are now superimposed on the Atma, and then therefore we say we are now giving that Bhranti. It is due to the Bhranti or due to the either what you call lack of understanding or the proper knowledge of what is the reality between the permanent and the impermanent. Yatha Brahmanadi dharmavat alatadi vastu vishaya drishtihavi brahmativa tadvat. Now, for example, he is using here an example of aladi. Aladam means a torch which is used during those days. A wooden stick with a cloth or some, incandescent material wrapped onto the tip of the wooden stick and then set on fire and is used for traveling in the night or in the dim light and all. That torch can be whirled around, swing around, and you will get a circle in nature. That circle which you are seeing is not actually the nature of the fire, but it is the nature of the vision which is seeing the circle. The fire is a spot, but because it is whirling around, then we are attributing the circle nature of fire because of the vision which we are giving. That circle is what we see it. And momentary, when you look somewhere else, that circle is still seen as if it is still there somewhere else where the fire is not seen. So the attribution of the circle at a place where fire is not seen is also due to the Bhranti only, due to the illusion which we have. But in reality, there is no firebrand there, which is creating a circle. So the same is the case if we are sitting in a moving train or the children normally have the problem. And I remember as a child, myself and my friend, we were standing near the railway station, and a goods train was passing by. So my friend started counting the number of bogies. Now the train initially was slightly slow, so he could count the number of bogies which are passing in. By the time that towards the end, the number of bogies were so fast, so he was also keeping on shifting his head to keep the count going on. But by the time the train moved, he really got tipsy and he fell down on the floor. Because by the time he has started moving around his head so much, he lost the balance and he sank. The same thing happens if we are holding on to a pillar and rotating around the pillar, and when you stop rotating, when you stand, you will not get the balance. So these are all the things which we are saying, the illusions. There is scientific reason for this. There is no doubt about it. But it is an illusion that what makes us feel that we are imbalanced or the vision is seen elsewhere, etc. So, tatacha shruti dhyayativa lailayativa. Again, Brihadaranya Upanishad 4:3-7. We are doing the meditation as if we are doing the meditation. It is not to ridicule or belittle meditation. Please don't understand that way. When Upanishad is saying that dhyayati iva, I am meditating, that feeling what we do is actually a Bhranti, is an illusion. Atma doesn't have to do meditation. It is the mind which needs a meditation. So mind along with the Bahya Sharira is the one which is doing the meditation, Dhyayata. So Dhyayati Iva. Iva means as if. So Lelayati Iva. Lelayati means moving around. So moving around. So both these, when we discuss this in the Brihadaranya Upanishads, we will discuss it in detail. But here you have to understand that the Brihadaranya Upanishad is saying that our activity in the meditation and moving around, all of them are nothing but Bhranti Nimittam. In Atma, there is no meditation, no movement, no vision, no this thing. It is as if these attributions or Bhranti Nimittam, we are attributing this onto I am meditating, I am seeing, I am hearing, I am etc. Tasmat, therefore, Atma Drishtehe Nityatvad. Therefore, Atma Drishti is Nityatvam. Here don't get confused. The potency of Atma to be aware of what mind and the Indriyas are doing or the physical body is doing, that has got permanent attribute at the Atma level. But the impermanent thing, nature, is from the mind onwards to the body, etc. Therefore, Atmadrishtehe nityatvat. Atmadrishti is nityatvam. These activities, when associated with the body, is permanent in nature. That is why there are two aspects which we have to always keep it in mind, that there is a permanent aspect to it which is residing or attributed because of the impermanent thing now being associated with Atma. Therefore, Atma is there. But Atma is not dependent upon the mind or the body or the organs. Therefore, the mind, Atma, can project it even in when the physical organs are not there, like in the dream, etc. So this is why it is called Atma Drishti is Nityatvam. Na Yogavadyam Ayogavadyam Va. Yugapat or not Yugapat means instantaneous or not instantaneous, simultaneous or not simultaneous. That means the external vision simultaneous with the Atma or the non-simultaneous activity of the external with the Atma should not be linked up. Therefore, that should not be related. Each one is independent. That Atma is Nityadrishta, is a ever seer. But we call it Atma as ever seer only when the impermanent activity of seeing is happening. Otherwise, there is no seeing also in the Atma. But there is a caveat for it, which is that even when the external eye, physical eye is not there, this Atma is able to project the vision in the mind when in the Swapna or the daydreaming, etc. That shows that Atma is independent of the physical eye. At the same time, it can have the vision and project the vision through the mind if it requires. So there is no instantaneous or non-instantaneous vision which should be attributed to Atma. They are all due to the what you call dependency on the instrument of vision. Bahya nitya drishti upadi vasad tu lokasya. Bahya nitya drishti upadi vasad tu nityasya lokasya तार्किकाणां च आगम संप्रदाय वर्जितेत्वात् अनित्यः आत्मनः दृष्टिः इति भ्रान्तिः उत्पन्ना एव. Now he is talking about, because the opponent had said that Kanadadeha are the people who have said that Atma is able to, that Dravya, it is able to see Nityatvam. It is permanent in nature, it can see always. So here he is giving an answer to that. Bahya anitya drishti upadi vasadatu. The upadi means the physical eye is the reason for the impermanent nature of the bahya drishti. Tarkikanancha, because the Tarkikas are agama sampradaya varjitatvad. They do not accept the Upanishad and follow the Upanishad teaching. Because they have abandoned the knowledge from the Upanishad, Anitya Atmanoho Drishtihi Iti Bhranti Utpanna Eva. They say that Atma Drishti is also Anitya. They don't say that there is a Nitya Drishti of Atma. Atma is Dravya, and Dravya means material, like, the Prithvi of Teja Vayu Akasha Kala Dik Atma Manamsi iti Navat Dravyani. There are 9 Dravyas which are there as per the Tarkika. So all the 9 Dravyas or the materials are matter. We can say material, no matter. they are all impermanent in nature because they have got either absence before or absence later, pragabhava, pradvamsabhava, or atyandabhava, total absence. These are the three type of absences which they calculated. So it's for example, ignorance has no pragabhava. Ignorance has no absence in the beginning. But when the jnana takes place or when the knowledge comes, the ignorance is destroyed. So there is a pradvamsabhava. That means there is an absence later. So these are the type of categories which they have into the Atma and how the Atma is in. So here Acharya is refuting their statement that Atmanaha drishtihi anityaha is because Atma, the vision by Atma is impermanent because they are not following the Agama Sampradaya or the Upanishad Sampradaya. Therefore, Bhranti, it is what you call ignorance or the illusion of the Bahya Drishti. Because of why? Bahya Anitya Drishti Upadhi Vashat. So all the external vision is due to the outer eye or the physical eye. That is now being attributed to Atma and say Atma Drishti is Anitya. Jiva Ishvara Paramatma Bheda Kalpanacha Etat Nimittameva. Now he is concluding that statement because the student or the opponent asked that Traya Atmanaha, there are three type of Atma, that is Jivatma, Ishvaraha and Paramatma. That is where we started our dialogue or the Acharya started explanation. Then he started, how are you? Because even though we have forgotten where we started from, Acharya Shankara has not forgotten. So he is referring it back to the saying that he asked the question, no, how did you arrive at Atma, that Jivatma? So he said inference. Now how did you infer? That is how the whole dialogue started. So he is bringing back the attention to the same thing. Jiva, Ishvara, Paramatma, Veda Kalpana. All the three Kalpanas, that Traya Atma, there are three Atmas. That Jiva is separate, Ishvara is separate, and Paramatma is separate. Etam is all Kalpana Eva. These are all Kalpana Matra. Or Kalpana means imagination. Etat Nimittam Eva. This Bhranti Nimittam Eva. It is due to this Bhranti that we are imagining that there is a Jiva, there is an Ishvara, there is a Paramatma. So he is refuting all other philosophies which are dualistic in nature, irrespective whether they believe in Ishvara or not. There is no separate Ishvara, there is no separate Jiva, there is no Paramatma. There is only Ekameva Advitiyam Bhava, which we started. Atma Sataveva Ekamagre Asit. This Atma alone was there in the beginning, is what he is depending upon the Upanishad to prove it again. So therefore, if anybody is thinking that individual life is there, then that Ishvara who is a creator is there, and then Paramatma who is a creator of Ishvara also is there, is all Kalpana. Kalpana means imagination. And Bhranti Nimittam Eva is due to Bhranti. Tata, not only that, Asti Nasti Ityadischa. We are saying that is there, it is not there. Asti and Nasti. Asti means, so even the Tattvam Asi, the word Asi is there. Asi is for Tvam. So Asti is for a common name for the third person. So Asti Nasti. Ishvaraha Asti, Ishvaraha Nasti. So Ishvara is there, Ishvara is not there. All these things, all due to Bhranti only. The Asti Nasti is a transactional thing which we are taking. So even the transactional word which we are using, it is there. The existence word which we are using, Sat. Sat means Asti. Asti is the is the verb, Sat is the noun for that. So even that word Sat is a eulogy. Actually speaking, in Atma, in that one, which is not Jiva, not Ishvara, not Paramatma. All the three names are from the Kalpana only, from the imagination only. In reality, that what is there beyond the three words, Ishvara, Jiva and Paramatma, we can call it as Brahman, we can call it as Atma, we can call it as Satchidananda, nothing. So, Asti Nasti Ityadischa Yavantaha Vangmanaha Vangmanayor Vedaha Yatra Ekam Bhavanti. Yatra Ekam Bhavanti. Were in a state or in a place where there is only one. You can't call it by any name. Vang manasayo. Vak, mana, either by the words or by the mind. Yato vacho nivartande aprapya manasa saha. We will learn this in the Aitareya Upanishad when it comes to that. It was taught even in the Kena Upanishad. So, Vang Manaso Vedaha, the difference which we talk about the Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat, or Jiva, Parameshwara, and all those things, it's Yavantaha as long as Vang Manaso Vedaha in the thing. Not in a place Vetra Ekam Bhavanti, where there is only one. That state of singularity, or the place where there is nothing, no duality, non-dual place. You cannot call it as Jiva, Ishvara or Paramatma. And even you cannot say Asti Nasti. Brahman is there, Brahman is not there also you cannot do it, because Asti Nasti will come in the transaction. The moment Asti is there means it is not also is corollary. Something is there means there is a statement where it cannot be there also. Otherwise the statement it is there has no validity. So, tad vishayayaha nityayaha drishtehe nirvishayayaha. Tad vishayayaha nityayaha. All those things are that word which is eternal, where even the time or space or existence, nothing can be called. Drishtehe nirvisheshaya. It is nirvishesham, or without any attributes. So you cannot even imagine what is that ekatvam. That state of being, you can't call it as being, because the being means non-being can come. As existence means non-existence. Anything which we take in the transactional world, any word you take, there is a contrary word for it. So, nirvishayaha, it cannot be objectified or even by vision or mind. Vang manaso vedaha yantraikam. Asti nasti ekam nana. It is there, it is not there. Ekam nana, one, multiple. Gunavata gunam, it is qualified and unqualified. Janati na janati, I know it, I do not know it. Kriyavat akriyam, it is result. It can be within the doable thing, non-doable thing. Phalavat aphalam, it is a result and it is not. It cannot be achieved or as a result. Sabijam nirbijam, it is with seed, without seed. Sukham dukkham, that dualities of happiness and sorrow. Madhyam amadhyam, madhyamam amadhyamam, middle, not middle. Shunyam ashunyam, what the Buddha says as the shunyam and ashunyam. Paroham Anyam, I am and others are different from me. Itiva Sarva Vak Pratyaya Gochare Swarupe Yaha Vikalpayitum Ichhati. All these dualities, that is asti, nasti, ekam, nana, gunavat, agunam, janati, na janati, kriyavat, akriyam, phalam, aphalam, sabijam, nirbijam, sagunam, nirgunam, sukham, dukkam, madhyamam, adudyam, shunyam, ashunyam, paraha, aham, inya, ityadi. Sarva vak pratyaya gochare, swarupe. In the swarupa, which is now attributed with all the Vak Pratyaya Gocharam, means by all the nomenclatures using words, Vikalpaidam Ichhati is due to Bhranti. Vikalpa means our imagination, we are attributing this all on that. Sa Nunam Khamapi Charmavat Veshtayidum Ichhati. Saha means one who does that. By bringing all these attributions by imagination onto Brahman or Atman, even those words, he is attempting to fold the sky like a mat being rolled up. How you are desiring to roll up a mat, same way you are rolling up the sky, you want to roll up the sky. That is the attitude with which Shankara is considering people who are doing this, all the dual names like Asti, Nasti, Sukham, Dukkam, Gunam, Nagunam, Sarbijam, Nirbijam, Nirgunam, Sagunam. All those things are Kalpana Matram. By imagination you are trying to do rolling up of the sky with like mat, or Sopana Miva, like climbing onto the sky by steps, ladder. Using a ladder, I can climb climb up to the sky and touch the moon. These are all the imaginations, but it can never be within. Padbhya arodum, sopanamiva padhya arodum. To with the legs, I can climb step by step and reach the moon. These are all the only imagination you can do. In reality, you can't do it. And one more example he is giving. Jale khe cha meenanam vayasam cha padam didrishyate. Jale meenanam. The fish in the water, or khe vayasam cha. In the sky, the birds. Padam didrishyate. They, as if I can see the footprints of the birds or the fish in water or air. This is the way in which people are imagining. I am seeing the 1,000 suns, brightness. That is Brahman. And that is, it is honey flowing over from the sky. It flew over my head and it inundated me. It is a bliss which I am unable to explain. It is the bliss of 1,000, what do you think? Even now, when we go to Taittiriya, we will see that Brahmana Anantaha, Nacha Shrotriya Brahma, Shrotriyasya Akamagasya. So there is a ladder of Ananda which is being referred in the Taittiriya. That is also being imagination only. So all these things are from pure imagination. Even the Upanishad, when they are talking about it, it is for Arthavada, or for the purpose of making people understand that it is beyond words. Because with words only you can take beyond words. That is why the words are contradictory in nature in the Upanishads. Now we should be able to understand why the Upanishads are contradicting each other. Drishte drishtu, manter manta, amata, ashrota. It is the thinker, it is not the thinker. It is the seer, it is not the seer. It is the hearer, it is not the hearer. All these type of words are used because the words cannot explain Atma or Brahman, or even the words Atman and Brahman is incapable of, explaining that yatra ekatvam, yatra ekam bhavanti. That is the state. Sa Atma, sa Vitneyaha. It even that Upanishad say that is Atma. You should know about it. How can you know about it? Because it is beyond the words. Avyavaharyam, Achintyam, Alakshanam. All those things are being only said because with your mind you cannot grasp it. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. The words cannot take you there. Mind also cannot even imagine what it is. You are that. The proof is that you are there, which you cannot deny. And you are that. You know whatever you think about yourself, from the physical body to the intellect to the mind to the anything which you think about it, it can be objectified. Therefore, Brihadaranya Upanishad 3:9-23:6 says, Neti Neti. Not this, not this. That Bada Avadi. It cannot say this is Atma, this is Brahman. Therefore, the Upanishad has to use the term Neti Neti. Whatever we say about Atman or Brahman, Upanishad will stand there saying Neti Neti. But then is it not there? Are you there? Yes, you are there. Then that means that is there. What is there? Tad Tvamasi. That you are. But what you are, you should know it because you are the one who is knowing it. Don't you know yourself? But if you moment you think and start uttering a word, the Upanishad will say Neti Neti. It is like the sun. Satsya Bhasa Sarvamitam Vibhadi. Okay, I understood that. Like the sun, in its light everything is shining. So is it like thousands of sun? Neti Neti. Oh, so it is not like that. So you cannot use a word for it, nor can you even kalpana, not even in imagination. Yato vacho nivartande aprapya manasa saha. Aitareya Upanishad, second chapter, the Bhrigu and 4:1 is the same there. Ityadi Shrudibhyaha. Ko Adda Vedaha. Rig Samvida, Rigveda Samvida 136. Ko Adha Veda. Adha means Sakshatkara. Who can know it? Is the question which the Rigveda is asking. Rigveda Samhita 136, first chapter, 30th section, 6th mantra. Kaha. Who is there to know it? Because you are the one. How will you know yourself? Or how can you know it as an object? The Rigveda is asking it itself, the question itself. Sakshatkara. Adda means Sakshatkara. Ko Adda Veda. Who is there to realize it? Other than yourself. You are the one, you have to realize yourself. You cannot realize it or that. There is no it or that. Only you are there. So the Rigveda says that, Ko Adda Veda. Who is there to Sakshatkara that? Or who is there to realize it? Ityadi mantra varnad. Kadam tarhi tasya sama atmedi vedanam. Then, kadam tarhi, how can then tasya mama atmedi vedanam? How can then it be known as mama atma? The word mama is not the word to be used there, but Upanishad is failing to use any word other than saying your Atma. Not to make you feel that you are separate, your Atma is separate. But the only way it can use the word make you think who you are, that your Atma and you are not separate. Therefore, ko Advaita, who can know it, realize it yourself? Bruhi, tell me. He is asking the student now. Bruhi, tvam bruhi, you tell me. Kena prakarena tamaham sa atmedi vidya. How can you now say that Mama Atmedi Vedyam? How can you say that I knew it as my Atma? Tell me. Shankaracharya is asking the student, the opponent who is asking this question itself. Tell me with all this thing what I have explained to you, can you say it is your Atma? Or are you the Atma? Or you are the one where words or mind cannot be used? You can't use one Atma or Brahman also. Because the word you use, Atma, Brahman, the mind will think that is something other than me. That is the nature of the mind. So the Upanishad has to immediately come and say Neti, Neti. So tell me, Katam Tarhi, with what explanation will you give me that it is my Atma? And in Vikeda Prakarena, in what method can you say that it is my Atma? I'll stop it here. There is one more paragraph which I'll take it on the Friday because he is giving an example, and that example is used because there is a purpose. He himself says the purpose, so which I'll explain in the Friday's class. So with these very clear-cut terms from Shankaracharya, do we have anybody have got doubt in the mind? I'll stop the chanting and then reflect class, and then we can go into the question answer session. Om वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेदि वेदस्य म आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीते दानाहोरात्रान् सन्ततामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम. Thank you. धन्यवाद.